Am I the asshole for not wanting to wear a one-piece swimsuit? I volunteer with a youth organization, ages 9-11, and prior to COVID we would take the kids swimming. Last time we went my boss asked that I wear an appropriate one-piece next time instead of a full coverage bikini while my male partner who also volunteers just wears swim trunks. Why is it that my stomach and back being uncovered is considered inappropriate? I understand that there are kids present but it's not like others at the pool aren't wearing bikinis. I also find one-pieces extremely uncomfortable and dislike the feeling of all that extra wet fabric. My partner thinks I should just leave it be because he's friends with our boss, but I'm tempted to challenge the swimsuit policy or buy a ridiculous one-piece with a print of a male chest on it.
No assholes here. I worked as a swim instructor and lifeguard for years, both at pools and lakes. I also swam for a team, so I've spent a lot of time in bathing suits. I understand the one-pieces being uncomfortable, but you can find cute ones that fit better. I can recommend some brands if you need. However, you are working with kids and representing an organization. Accidents can happen with a bikini that are harder to happen with a one-piece. If you really can't stand one-pieces, wear a swim shirt over the bikini. You would be TA if you wore the chest swimsuit. While the rule is frustrating, it's from a professional standpoint. This is not professional.
No assholes here but borderline TA. Policies are policies and dress codes are dress codes. Greater than I understand that there are kids present but it's not like others at the pool aren't wearing bikinis. Are the others also organization volunteers? Greater than I also find one-pieces extremely uncomfortable and dislike the feeling of all that extra wet fabric. So, lot of people don't like their work uniform but they have to wear it. So long as all females have to wear a one-piece then there's no issues. If they're only outing you then they would be TA. If you don't like the swimsuit policies, maybe not volunteer anymore? In terms of being in an organization or work, a one-piece in water activities over a bikini is not an unusual or wrong request.
I'm gonna go with you are the asshole just because this is a really weird hill to die on. Your volunteer boss has a right to enforce a dress code even if you think it's unfair, and you have a right to stop volunteering if you don't like it.
You are the asshole. Your job is to represent a company how they want to be represented. If you don't like the uniform, find a different job.
No assholes here, but you're representing his organization and the others at the pool aren't. He's within the pale to have a dress code for his volunteers.
No assholes here. I get that you don't like one-pieces, but you are working with kids in water. It's a given that certain accidents with a two-piece are more likely than with a one-piece. That, and you could probably consider this a work uniform. I mean, I hate wearing suit jackets to work. And I hate Thor's straight work pants too. But I can't just show to work in my yoga pants to meet clients for comfort.
No assholes here. He's allowed to have a dress code for his organization. I agree that one-piece suits are annoying, especially when going to the bathroom. I wear a rash guard over my bikini for extra sun protection and to keep the ease of wearing a two-piece suit. And I've actually found that it keeps me cooler when it's wet. So that may be a good compromise instead of the passive-aggressive man chest suit.
You are the asshole. He has a dress code and that's allowed. I worked at a summer camp a few years ago and was required to be in the pool daily, and we were asked to wear a one-piece. Literally got a cute one from Walmart surprisingly, and it wasn't uncomfortable. Whether it's right or wrong, it's wrong. Women's bodies are sexualized and you're representing a company. He's allowed to ask this of you. If you don't like it, find another place to volunteer. Not the asshole. I do agree that it sounds like something of a double standard. While I don't necessarily disagree with an employer or organization requiring more conservative attire since rules about dress aren't unreasonable, there should be an equivalency. For example, both male and female volunteers must wear rash guards. If you're required to cover up, so should your male co-volunteers. It's better UV protection anyway.
I mean, not liking to wear something is okay, doesn't make you an R. On the other hand, if your boss asks you to wear that, it's like a uniform. Don't like it? Who cares, wear it, it's a uniform. Most people don't like their work uniform. You're not tar because you don't like one-piece swimsuits, but you'll be tar if you keep wearing bikinis when your boss asked you to wear something else. It's your boss, even if you volunteer.
No assholes here, but YWBTA if you wore the chest swimsuit. I definitely understand that one pieces can be uncomfortable. I'm not fond of them either, but you could perhaps try a tankini, tank top plus bottom swimsuit, or wearing a shirt over the bikini instead. That way there's less chance of an accident and it would be more professional looking.
No assholes here. Unless you wear the bare chest one piece. That wouldn't be professional. If you're going to do that, you should just quit. I have a long torso and totally get that one pieces are uncomfortable. Would a tankini be a possible compromise? You are the asshole, it's their uniform code. Don't like it, don't do. Volunteer and trunks are like male one pieces. You don't think your husband would be getting a talking to if he were in Speedos?
Oh my god, you are the asshole. Get over it. You can't wear a two-piece because it's inappropriate even if you don't think so. Just wear the one piece. But why can a boy wear swim trunks and show his stomach? Probably because his tits and ass aren't hanging out.
Not the asshole, I'm a lifeguard and the policy at the pool I work at is that everyone has to wear the uniform, which is just a quick dry, pinny top. You can wear basically any swimsuit underneath, but all the guards, instructors, volunteers have to wear the top if they are working. I like it especially since it's easy to identify who's staff and who's not and makes it equal for all the employees. I'd probably suggest that to your boss, something of, if I have to cover up then so should the rest of the staff. IDK where you live, but where I live we have top equality where any public space outside of a store or restaurant anyone can go topless if they so choose. Not sure if that's the case where you live, but if it is I'd bring it up. Definitely don't wear a male chest swimsuit thahu. I'd read up on the pool's dress code and see if you can call them out on anything.
You are the asshole. You are volunteering and the boss can lay down the rules. You have a choice not to go if you do not like the rules. You could also raise it with the institution formally, if you like.
No assholes here. The reason that organizations create policies like this is so that they don't have to be incredibly nitpicky and start legislating to death what's okay versus too revealing, or make it a subjective decision based on a director's personal feelings, which leads to issues. So I think if your swimsuit meets the intent of their policy, I'd meet with the director or whoever, and present why a sports bra suit meets the same goals as a one-piece. But I'd also be aware that there tends to be heightened sensitivity when there are volunteers around small children and the parents aren't present.
No assholes here. If that's the policy, then that's the policy. If you want to challenge it because it's a dumb rule, then fair enough, just remember that legally you might not be in the best position.
You are the asshole, it's a uniform and your boss can say that he wants female employees to wear one-piece suits. Is it that detrimental to your self-esteem that you can't wear a bikini? Your partner is right because you're creating a problem out of nothing.
No assholes here, but you will be tar if you act out over this. Uniform regulations, because that is what this is, usually exist for a reason. You might not be the one abusing it, but that doesn't mean others wouldn't, and the boss can't make exceptions just for you. If the boss allowed bikinis, he'd then have to include lots of subsections, e.g. none with O-hut straps, must have a particular fastener, etc. because kids are grabby, and accidents happen.
Info, can you share a picture, not of you, obvi, that's a weird thing to ask, of a similar looking swimsuit? There's a lot of gray area in full coverage bikini. I would consider my bikinis full coverage, but they're definitely not kid friendly. One yank and I'd be everywhere. There are however two pieces that would 100% be okay for an active kid wrangling volunteer. To me, it's all about if you can do your job. If what you're wearing isn't impeding you in any way, and by that I mean it fits, it can't be pulled off by a flailing, devious child, and you're okay if you get a stain on it, then I think it's okay to push back a little.
No assholes here. I'm all for equality, but it's a professional setting where it is required to wear a certain suit. If you don't like it, then take it up the ladder.
No assholes here. I worked for 4 years at a pool, both lifeguarding and teaching swim lessons. The one-piece may be less comfortable, but it has fewer changes for failure than a two-piece, riding up, riding down, untying, being pulled on by children. Additionally, it's not your stomach they take issue with. Is it fair that men can bare their chest and women can't? No, but until society changes, that's an unfortunate side effect. What would be unfair is if, like the Association for Young Men my mother works at, they made you wear a one-piece and shorts and a long-sleeve rash guard all at the same time. Them men there do still have to wear the shirt and trunks, but it's all highly redundant. You're not an asshole for not liking one-pieces, but they aren't assholes for having a dress code policy for staff swim attire.
You are the asshole. You're not entitled to going against a particular type of dress code. It would be completely disrespectful if you dressed in a bikini despite knowing the rules. If you have an issue, then don't volunteer there.
As a kid who did swimming from ages 5 to 13, I can promise the kids don't give a fuck. They're a good change. They don't notice the difference between a one-piece and a fully covering two-piece. Okay, it's the boss that is the only caring about it. By pointing it out it's kind of creepy. Like, why you notice what type of bathing suit op wears? As long as she teaching the kids to swim?
Doesn't seem like it's a work policy, seems like it's one guy telling her his opinion and he happens to be her volunteer boss. If they are going to dictate what swimsuits volunteers wear, they need to provide them with said swimsuit. I get where you're coming from, but you are the asshole. Everyone has different levels of modesty. It's not about you, it's about respecting the potential values of the families of the children you will be working with. A one-piece is neutral and respectful. I'm sure you could get a tankini.
No assholes here. I think some of these other posters are missing that you're a volunteer. I'd ask if they can budget buying you a one-piece and you claim the money back as you haven't got one and wouldn't buy one for yourself, bow out of swimming duty, or stick a t-shirt on over the top in the pool and take it off and put a dry one on out of the pool.
Not the asshole. I think people are getting strung up on the fact that you used the word bikini. It sounds like you meant two-piece, but people hear bikini and think of the more revealing deep-cut suits. I have also worked with kids in water, and I think a full-coverage two-piece is not any more likely to have kid-related accidents, nor is it inappropriate. And #X200B. I mean, if your boss is someone who is friends with your partner, maybe you could have a reasonable discussion with him. But I don't think challenging the policy is a bad idea. I've done it at workplaces before, and it doesn't have to be a big throw-down fight. It's just asking people to reconsider and hear your side.
Please. Give us a break. You're dealing with young males. Wear the one piece and get over yourself. You are the asshole grinning face with sweat grinning face with sweat grinning face with sweat.
Info, is it a rule, or is your boss going rogue? They need to change the rules so men have to wear t-shirts. That's fairness. Women covering up, but men not covering up showing the chest, nippy please is unfair, definitely. Gonna get downvoted prob but not the asshole. People are saying accidents can happen in a two-piece. Yeah, in a string bikini sure. But there are plenty of tankinis, sport bra-esque two-pieces, and two-pieces that completely cover the boob area like this. images.app.goo.gl/gvvortuhugvb7a. If the argument is that kids are climbing all over you, then wouldn't a man be at risk of having his swim trunks pulled down? They should clearly be wearing a one-piece too in that case. This seems to me to be a real sexist double standard. They could ask for a more conservative two-piece, but why does it matter if your back and stomach are exposed if the same isn't true for men? If they were really worried about appropriate coverage, you'd think they'd ask you to wear swim shorts as well. I would come back to your boss with several options of conservative two-piece bathing suits and tell him you'd be willing to compromise with Thorza for the reasons listed above.
No assholes here. I don't think your boss is tar for asking you to wear a one-piece, but you're also not the asshole for not wanting to wear one. Bikinis are usually sexualized and it's easier for them to slip off, untie. I think it'd just be a safer option to wear a one-piece, especially around kids. One prices aren't so bad, Thorhugh. You can get one that shows your back more so you have less wet fabric, or just a more form-fitting one so you don't feel it as much.
No assholes here. I've worked at 2 different places with similar policies, and if you're in the water with the kids, I sort of understand. I've had kids grab and pull at my straps accidentally, and it's much harder to yank down a one-piece than a bikini. However, that's also the case with swim trunks, as they're easy to tug down too, so there is a double standard that you're right for noticing. Still, you should probably follow the dress code if you can.
No assholes here. Maybe see about a compromise with a tankini sort of suit? They cover the same skin, but are more comfortable and less restricting. Info: Is there a written policy that you must wear a one-piece? Are swimsuits provided, paid for? Are you the only woman? If there isn't a written policy, and you're the only one and only woman being told to cover up, then you'd theoretically have an argument for gender discrimination. But, is this really a fight worth having? If he continues to press the issue, tell him you're not going to spend your own money buying a suit you'd only wear for work. If he wants you to cover up, then he needs to pay for it. As someone else said, he could provide rash guards for everyone and problem solved. If he ordered ones with the organization logo, then he can advertise his org at the same time. No assholes here unless you buy the one piece with the male chest, then that's an move. You are the asshole.
Info: When you say bikini, do you mean just a two-piece? Or an actual bikini? Because they can be very different cuts, styles.
Not the asshole. You're working for free. Wear whatever is comfortable. Plenty of female lifeguards wear bikinis and seem to be free of wardrobe malfunctions.
Not the asshole. He's within his rights to make whatever rules he wants, but it doesn't mean you can't call him out for them being outdated and sexist. Bikinis aren't inherently sexual and children aren't going to think anything of it, for many adults will project their own feelings about it onto children. As long as you can find a two-piece that's secure enough to avoid wardrobe malfunction, that should be fine. I'm not really understanding the mentality of some commenters who readily admit that it's wrong to sexualize women's bodies but still insist you should just deal with it. If it's wrong or unfair, then it should be challenged. No positive societal change, nor personal change for that matter, has ever occurred from people acknowledging that something is wrong and then completely ignoring it.
Not the asshole. A one-piece isn't any more kid-friendly than most two-piece suits and can be even more revealing than, say, a two-piece with boy-short bottoms or something like that. Also, kids are going to a public space where they will see a wide range of swimsuit styles on a wide range of bodies. It's a ridiculous double standard and you should wear what you feel comfortable in. Edit: This is coming from a parent of two school-aged kids. Greater than or buy a ridiculous one-piece with a print of a male chest on it. That sounds hilarious.
Yes, you are ta. I would say otherwise if it were an actual job, but raising an issue and causing trouble for a volunteer organization because you don't like wearing one-pieces is just shitty emo. What a first world problem, laughing my ass off.
You are the asshole. You are challenging the policy instead of following it. If you don't like it, don't volunteer. It is inappropriate, as your boss said.
No assholes here, but kids will pull your bikini off, trust me. That's why they ask girls to wear one-pieces.
You are the asshole. You are the asshole because you're working with kids who may not be the best swimmers and swimsuit mishaps are possible. If a child needs your assistance, you should be wearing something secure on your body so you don't have to worry about it at all. Also, you're an organization representative and one-piece swimsuits are quite a typical request.
No assholes here, but if I were you, I'd just wear the one piece to keep the peace.